Coming up today on Great Day Connecticut, the United States of Al is a hilarious show on CBS. If you're not watching it, you're missing out. We're talking to two of the stars. Plus, are you hosting a baby shower? We've got tips and tricks to make it a great day for everyone. And healthy cooking for a college student? We're learning some recipes that people of any age will want to try. We're making your day a great one, starting right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Great Day Connecticut. I'm Sundlun. Happy Thursday.
I'm Marc Robbins, in for Scott. I got to tell you, I'm feeling some pressure.
You are?
This is the first time I've done the show filled in with the new title. I've done better, but now, great. I don't know if I can make it
You've
great.
You've got to be great.
That's a lot.
You know what? I believe in you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to have you here. And I need to let you know that it is National Witch Hazel Day. Okay. Now I know you have a daughter
I don't know what
who's
witch
going.
hazel is to begin with.
She knows what witch hazel is because you have a daughter who's 24,
yes.
right? So it's a skincare product. It was actually invented in the 1800s, but Humphreys is a company that's right here in Connecticut that's known to make very pure witch hazel, and the Dickinson's brand. A lot of celebrities like it. So anyway, if you're looking to get rid of your blackheads or help with your skincare, today is National Witch Hazel Day.
I could use, because I think
it's an aftershave also.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
I'd shave every day. I am not one that likes a beard. I like to shave every.
Yeah,
not that
so
you
there you
needed
go.
to know that.
Get your witch hazel out. You know what? I like the little wipes. Which do you sometimes have to wear makeup for TV, right?
Yeah,
so you can get the witch hazel wipes to take your makeup off.
Is that?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm always. Yes.
And then that'll keep your skin nice and supple, not like a reptile, because it's also Reptile Awareness Day.
What a segue. That's fantastic. Talking about cold.
We talk about very important things on Great Day.
We do. And we want to. We want to acknowledge our cold-blooded friends, and many of my friends are cold-blooded, but they're not reptiles. But today's a big day.
So it's National Reptile Awareness Day. Ooh. Anyway, they often scare people, and in Halloween we think of all these kind of scaly creatures. But we have to remember that they're very important because they help control a lot of the pests. They eat them all.
Yeah, sure, for the ecological system.
Yeah.
Right?
So reptiles, they deserve your love too. Don't give them an onion now. There's a salmonella outbreak, and if you're thinking of making something tonight that involves onions, you might have to just skip it, because they're saying that 650 people all across the country, 37 states, have gotten sick. And there are these onions that were imported from Mexico, but you don't really know when you bring an onion home where it came from.
You don't, and you don't know which onions. It could be the yellow, the white, the red. It could be any of them. So that's kind of tough.
I generally always say I don't, like, if a dish is at a restaurant, I always say, no onion. So
my dad loves onion. I mean, he could eat it with ice cream.
Oh, really?
I mean,
it's so good for you.
Onions.
It's really good for you. Like Dr. Artemis, our naturopath, would be like, garlic and onions, good for your immune system. But anyway, skip the onions. They say you might have to return them. There's a whole bunch, red, yellow, white. They're from Mexico.
And they're distributed out of Idaho, I believe.
Yeah, so it's hard to know.
Potatoes out of Idaho.
But you know what? I think they come there and then they distribute. So maybe they send them with the potatoes and the onions.
Well, we'll let you know when it's safe to
eat your onions again. For now, you'll have good breath. Okay. How about designing your own phone? Samsung, they're getting, the younger generation, they want everything personalized. So I think this sounds like a good idea, but they just announced during their big conference with their phones that you're now going to be able to customize it. You'll pick like a front color, a back color, maybe a stripe. I mean, you're going to be able to customize they call it their flip phone, but it's not a flip phone like what we're thinking of back in the day.
Is it's still a telephone, because nowadays it's a monitor, it's a TV.
It's everything.
It's really.
Yeah, so it's a Flip 3 phone, and yes, for $1,000, I'm sure it does all that you want it to do. But you can pick your colors.
For $1,000.
But then my question is, how do you put a case on that? Because once you've
one with a
customized
hinge, probably.
Do they have such
things?
I bet. They must have to make special cases.
Is that a hinge on
So
it
anyway,
right
these
there?
are all the different varieties you can get.
Yeah, I think the case has a hinge.
All right, so from the files of what's TikTok doing to the kids, now they're seeing a rise in symptoms of Tourette syndrome, like when people have tics. And they think it's because teen girls are watching a lot of videos from other influencers who have anxiety, who have depression, who also may have tics and have Tourette syndrome, because that's a symptom of those conditions. And that a lot of girls are now having this condition, but they think it's more because they're mimicking it, and that with therapy they can get rid of their tics.
Oh.
I mean, you know, it really concerns me, all that TikTok is making people do. I liked it when it was just little dances and fun things, but now that they're vandalizing schools, or you're coming up with actual physical impairments like tics, it's a problem.
You know, the world has become so much smaller because of technology, because now we know more people from greater distance because of technology, but we see the good and the bad, and the warts, if you will, of, you know, and the problems that people have passed on electronically to other people.
Well, and you know, I'll tell my daughter all the time, what, this isn't real, or that we had this with TV, with different things, but you know, I think they're young and they can't, when it's just constant, that's hard. They don't have the ability to process and say, this is wrong, or this is right, or this is, or interesting that the mirror neurons in your brain could be producing these tics because you're watching it so much.
You remember when we were kids, you at least for me, you were limited to the amount of TV you could watch. 1 hour, 2 hours of TV a day.
And if your parents weren't watching it. I watched plenty of hours of like MASH and 60 Minutes because that's what they were watching.
Right, well, your parents always controlled the remote.
Right, if there was a remote. Like I can still remember the big one where you lay on the floor, like the punch box thing, the Q thing, or whatever.
Sure.
Like the early cable.
But you only had that hour or so.
Yeah.
And but now, I mean, you have to take the as I say, it's not really a phone. You take the monitor away from your children. You can only let them have it for an hour or two a day.
Which is really hard.
Which is hard to do. They take it to school. It's with them more, you know, much more than the parents.
Right.
I mean, you know.
We'll have to figure this all out. But anyway, if you're noticing this, they're actually attributing it to TikTok. I think this sounds great. We'll talk about it. But the Royal Caribbean, not that I can go on this, but Royal Caribbean is offering a 274-night cruise. You'll go to all 7 continents. That's actually one of my personal bucket list things, to just go to all 7 continents. But they're calling it the Serenade of the Seas vessel. You can sail in December of 2023, and you'll go to 65 countries and see 11 wonders of the world.
Amazing.
What do you think?
It sounds like an amazing trip, and I would love to do it. Love to do it with you as well. But I don't know about that much time on a ship.
On a ship.
I just spent
like
10 wonderful days in Greece on a ship.
3 months and 3 months and 3 months. Maybe, I mean, I don't have this time in my life, so it's all fantasy.
Break it up. Maybe you do it over a 2 or 3 year period for 2 or 3 months at a time, like you're suggesting. I think that's the way to go. That's a long time. Although people now live on these ships, retirees, instead of finding, you know, places on land, I've read where they live on ships.
Yeah.
They get off when
sell all their stuff and just cruise around and enjoy their life. And
your food, you got maid service, you got everything.
So we looked it up, and it cost about $60,000, but that's expensive. But that is your whole year of your room, board, food, everything. So that's interesting.
Not exorbitant. I mean,
considering how much you're going to spend on, if you're going to spend on your housing and your transportation and your food, what you spend in a year, they're going to take care of all that, and you're going to come back having seen all 7 continents.
I wonder if you have to pay it in a lump sum, or you can pay it out. You know, because as you live, that $60,000, you know, you have time to pay it.
It'd be interesting to see who does this. Okay, so talking about another light way of traveling, right? Elon Musk has been talking about creating this underground transportation network called the Vegas Loop, and it would go right underneath the Strip. So apparently, the city officials have now approved it. So it used to be kind of a pipe dream. One leg of the tunnel is already being built, and they expect it to open early next year. It's been approved. So you'll just be able to like around Vegas underneath.
A subway, if you will, in Vegas, but with cars, I guess?
I guess.
Or vehicles. It's not mass transit, it's...
But you get in the cars that they provide. You don't take your own, right? Or, I don't know. We'll have to figure this out. It's an underground transportation network. Yeah. But I do know that Elon Musk is also trying to create some sort of magnetic tunnel from New York to D.C., that if that was created, they said you could fly travel right under, and it would take you about a half an hour, according to his plans.
Wow.
Could you imagine just
Think
getting
of the
in some
G-force in that.
and then
a
you're
half
in
an hour to go cross country?
from Washington, from New York City to Washington D.C.
Oh, New York to Washington. Oh, okay.
Which would be an amazing, amazing.
Still, yes.
Yeah. I don't know how, but travel's going to get easier in the future.
I don't know that we're going to see it.
No, he's talking about within the next couple of years.
Really?
Yes.
You got to build something that.
Well, if the city approved it, he said it's ready to go.
But you could build that fast?
I don't know.
They can't get the potholes on
He's Elon
over
Musk.
here in Rocky Hill.
We will all just be like the Jetsons. You won't have potholes. All right, Bud Light Seltzer's Ugly Sweater Holiday Pack is returning. If you're going to a holiday party, maybe it's an ugly sweater party. This could be a great hostess gift. But it's an ugly sweater seltzer. Cranberry. It's a classic cranberry flavor.
Classic.
Or there's also sugar plum, cherry cordial, and seltzer nog.
They sound ugly.
The loudest flavors ever.
Sugar plum seltzer is,
I know.
wow.
I know. The whole thing of beer getting into the seltzer business, but I don't know. Anyway, people like them.
It's been profitable for some, but I think that's fruitcake.
Oh yeah.
Seltzer.
Oh,
right. Well, it's ugly sweater, right?
I know. All right. So, were you a Nightmare on Elm Street fan when you were younger?
I don't like horror.
You don't like horror. So we just talked about this the other day that some people like to be scared, and they said it's a reason, like it's deep in our brain.
Yeah.
Don't love them as much now that I'm a mom, but I loved scary movies as a kid. Nightmare on Elm Street was one of my favorites. I can remember going to the drive-in and being terrified, like wanting to be on top of the car in my sleeping bag and be like, let me in, so scared. Anyway, the house where it was filmed, where the Nightmare on Elm Street hits were filmed, it's on the market. And it's just over $3 million. It's in LA.
Listen, Freddie's got to make some money, right?
Yeah, so Freddy Krueger actually kind of makes himself at home. He's in there.
Look at that. I want to see this on $1 Million Listing LA and see if they can sell it on that show.
It's a charming 3-bedroom home in LA.
Spalding Square. I'm from LA. I'm
Comes
not
with a
that
pool.
familiar with it. It does. Does Freddie come with it? Is there a stuffed Freddie? Or?
No, that sounds super expensive, and people would say $3 million for a 3-bedroom, but in LA, it's not.
No.
That's just like what you have to pay for real estate.
Yeah, and if you have a little bit of land, it's
even
in
more.
LA.
That's it.
That's why it's. Yeah, I don't think it's the house so much. I think it's the fact that you have a pool.
Yeah.
And you would think pools in Southern California, but in LA, it's tough to find.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So that's just what it costs to live in LA. All right. For all the latest celebrity news and much more, you can watch People the Show. It's right here on Channel 3 every night at 7:30.
And here's Kay with a preview.
Tonight on People, my week-long exclusive with Katie Couric continues. Tonight we talk about dating after the passing of her late husband, Jay Monahan, and then finding love and marrying again. You found love again. What was it like dating in your 50s? You're a bona fide huge star.
I know, it was hard to go on Match.com.
Yeah, tell me, you're not on Farmers Only, Christian Mingle or anything, Katie. How was that?
J-date.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it was hard, and yet I tried to have a really good attitude. I was one of those people like, you're going to learn something from everyone you meet. Like, yay. So I really had this very open-minded attitude. And it was hard because I did it, obviously, sometimes in the public eye.
Yeah, One-on-one with Katie Couric tonight on People.